on my Area 51 line. You're on the air. Hello.
Welcome to the Blondes and Booze Paranormal Podcast, where what you've known as reality will be shattered by the truth. Krista and Brandy will lift the veil from your eyes, revealing what has either been hidden or denied you for eons.
Hey, happy Thursday again.
Happy Thursday again. And I didn't say Wednesday because now I know it's Thursday.
Last time you did say Wednesday.
I thought it was Wednesday. I didn't know what to do with that. You know, I mean, one step closer to Friday. That's all I got to say about that.
I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It has been just a long week.
It has. It really has. Even like work's been long, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, everybody out there. Good to see you. Everybody coming on in.
Yep. We'll give everybody a minute or two to come in. We have our friends, Spookie Dookie Paranormal, and they're also part of Haunted Soulz, our paranormal team that Brandy and I do. And we've hunted with them, and it's a lot of fun. There's some good people there. So it'll be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, we can ask them all kinds of questions like how'd they get their name in just a moment.
Yeah. We're going to.
Yes, we are going to. I'd like to know. I'd like to know.
Me too.
It's good to see everybody out there following us over from the Four Blondes, One Mystery at a Time podcast. We appreciate you coming in. Again, if you're, we have that show at 6:30 p.m. Central on Thursdays, right before the Blondes and Booze show. So if you would start kindly going over to that channel and plugging in, because just in a couple weeks, we're going to take it off of Blondes and Booze and it will no longer be showing on this channel. I just want to remind everybody of that. And if you missed the talk that we just had on that, you might want to go back and watch that because, it started off as what if this happened to you type questions type of thing. And, basically what it is it's my 3 a.m. thoughts, the ones that keep me awake. And, it was an interesting conversation.
It went to the gutter a couple times.
Yeah, it took a complete dive down south. Just went south like super quick.
Yeah,
super quick.
Fun show. It was a fun show. That was our third one that we've done. And so we appreciate everybody if you guys would also subscribe to that channel too. Blondes and Booze is not going anywhere. We will be here every Thursday night and Friday night, except for the next 2 Friday nights.
Yes.
But we will be here any other Friday night. And, back to the scheduling and all that.
Yeah, back to the regular scheduled programming.
That's right.
Yes, we're going to have that. So that's not a big deal. But, many things are coming up with that channel. So make sure you do subscribe to that channel and find out what's going to be going on. We're not giving out any secrets, so don't ask.
Yep. We have big news coming out. And the other big news we have, The Vanishing. We're going to be down in Alabama.
Yes, on January 31st, everyone. Greg Ogles and Relic Films are going to be releasing their newest documentary. And they're going to be having like a little conference going on along with that movie. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be lots of stuff. And that is in, what did you say? Gardenville, Alabama.
I think it's Gardenville, Alabama. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
I believe it's northern Alabama. So
I'm not quite sure where that was. Isn't that sad? I used to live in Alabama.
I'll tell you here in just a minute. I'm going to tell you because I'm going to go to my maps.
You got the maps. Got to go to Google.
We Google everything.
We do. Like how to fix my refrigerator. I've done that. And definitely fix my refrigerator using Google. Yeah. And a little bit of YouTube.
Oh, it's Gardendale. My bad.
Gardendale.
Yes. And it's only 7 hours and 55 minutes. So that's not a terrible trip.
That's not terrible.
No. Shoot. How many times we've done Alabama now? We've been down there a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's really nothing. But that's 7 hours from
My house.
your house. See, that's not that
It's
far
not
from my
far
house.
from your house. Yeah. And it's kind of, it looks like it is, it's north of Birmingham.
Okay. Okay. So it's in between Huntsville and Birmingham.
Yep. It's north of Birmingham.
Okay. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. We
I
can do
think
that.
we've been to Birmingham. Didn't we go through Birmingham?
Yes. Well, you got to really go through Birmingham, honestly, to get north to south. You got to go through Birmingham.
I don't know. We go through so many cities. I have no idea. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, you have to go north to south in Alabama. You got to go through Birmingham.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's okay. I'd rather do that than Montgomery. I'm just saying.
There you go. Perfect. All right. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's bring up Spooky Dookie.
Just when you said that. Just the way you said that, Krista. Hi, guys. The way she said that, I'm so sorry. It's Spooky Dookie.
Yeah, highly
I love your name, though. You guys have the best name. Hey, Mickey.
We try.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mickey, for being a member of the Booze Club for 14 months. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. You know the first question, guys. Everybody wants to know how you got your name.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a long story, but it's a good one. We went to for our schoolhouse up in Iowa, and about 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
It was our second investigation as a team, and we didn't have a team name yet. We didn't really care at the time.
Amateurs.
Yeah, we were just amateurs, just hanging out, just having a good time, seeing what happened. And we, for our schoolhouse, in order for you to go to the bathroom, you have to go downstairs into the gym, and then they got the old locker rooms that have the bathrooms in there, and the stalls are wide open. And when you sit on the toilet, you look out the stall and you look to your right, and it just looks down to the boiler room, which is one of the most active areas in the whole building. So
the one flickering light.
Yeah, with the one flickering light. You know, if it looked like a horror movie, it was fitting.
Absolutely.
You know, so both of our wives were there, and we walked down there to go to the bathroom, and they decided if it was bad enough, they were going to drive like 15 minutes to the Casey's gas station, and they instantly implemented the rule that nobody goes to the bathroom by themselves down there. So we were joking around, and of course the hotel that we stayed in that night too, the Motel 6 in what was it, Maxwell, something like that. Yeah. I mean, they had boot prints on the doors. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we all decided, you know, if we had to take a crap somewhere, what will we call it? And we said we'd be taking a Spooky Dookie somewhere. And we were joking about team names, and Ray Tex was like, "What if we just stick with Spooky Dookie?" And you know what? We said, screw it. We like to have fun. We take the investigation seriously, but we enjoy it, and it's kind of stuck since. Who knew? Who knew that it would have actually taken off?
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, the same thing with our name, Blondes and Booze. You know, BOOS. You know, we got a lot of grief over it. And I'm like, look at our spelling, you know, and it was strictly a marketing tactic that has worked for us.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because everybody's like, they tune in because they think they're going to get something else. Entirely, you know, and it's like, no, but surprise, since you're here, can you subscribe? You know.
Yeah, so I get where you guys are coming from, but I love the name. I think you guys are a blast, and your wives too. I've met both of your wives; they're both great. So yeah, you guys are awesome. So let's start one at a time. You guys are Ray and Steve.
Yep.
And tell us about your background, how you guys got into this.
Right.
Sure. Well, I mean, I had always been kind of sensitive to paranormal stuff ever since I was a kid. I had, there's tons of stories, but, I always used to hear someone calling my name when I was young out in the hallway when no one was ever there. I used to see shadow people in the house that I grew up in. My mom has stories of me scaring the crap out of her, looking down the hallway, waving at somebody that's not there. And she, gets all scared and stuff. And just growing up, I've just had a ton of experience in paranormal, and it really doesn't scare me. It just interested me. And I just got more interested in the topic. And then, getting older, and me and Steve were in the same career path, and we were in training together, and we just got talking about ghosts and stuff one day, and he was like, well, man, that's I'm super into that stuff too. And then we scheduled a day to just go. We went to Waverly Hills.
I don't even think we never hung out before. We never talked before that.
No.
And one day at training, we were just like, screw it, let's go to Waverly Hills. And wives have never met, and it was right after that, it was done deal.
Yeah,
and you guys are law enforcement, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to be. I got offered a better gig, so it worked out for me and my family a little bit more. I get weekends and holidays, and it worked out perfectly. So
yeah, awesome.
And I've fell in love doing it ever since, and we haven't looked back. And here we are. A couple years later, still doing it with no end in sight. So. Yeah,
absolutely. And Haunted Soulz keeps us all pretty busy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially the month of October is pretty darn busy.
Are you guys going to be at Emmaus next weekend?
No, I will not be. My next one will be Ashmore.
Okay. I won't be at Ashmore.
And then I'll be at Arcadia as well.
Arcadia.
On the 15th. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see you at Arcadia then, because Brandy and I will both be at Arcadia.
Yes, of course.
It's deer season. It's opening weekend, so I'll hunt in the morning, take a nap, and then come down in the evening.
There you go. Hey,
it'll be a long night.
Yeah, we're right. I'm right up in Lesterville or Centerville area, so we're about 30 minutes from there, if that.
Oh yeah,
you're not bad. You're not bad.
Down there. We are going to have to talk, and we'll talk about it later in the show, but about Bigfoot, because you are in a really, really hot spot for that. So, and later in the show, we'll talk about that.
I have heard about this. Yes.
We'll talk about ghosts right now, and then we'll go on to the Bigfoot thing. So, we have a lot of people who like Bigfoot in our chat. So, yeah. Okay. So, favorite place you guys have been to?
It depends. I think every place for me has something different that I like the most.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Emmaus is absolutely phenomenal. For me, Arcadia was probably the best place that we've had Maglite interactions with. We posted a video of that a while back on our page, and it was probably a good 10 or 15 minute interaction.
Yeah,
it was
super intelligent.
I mean, it would answer questions on the spot. It would turn off the Maglite when asked to. It would turn it back on. We would do sequences with it. It was phenomenal. We got into Morse Mill out here in Hillsboro, Missouri, and that was phenomenal. From the moment that we walked in the door, disembodied voices we heard upstairs sound like females. I think Ray and I went directly upstairs, and there was nobody in the house. It was crazy. Waverly Hills, that was the first place we went to as a team. We set balls down on the floor and actually watched them roll across the floor.
Wow, the cat balls?
No, the cat balls we did have go off, and then people had left like kickballs on the floor and stuff like that just to play with. And we had those move across the floor. And for our schoolhouse, that was the first place I actually had goosebumps. We heard footsteps walk across the classroom, like walk across the front door of the classroom. And I was just waiting for somebody to peek their head around the corner, and that never happened. And I was like, wait a minute. And we all looked at each other. I've never heard something like that before. So I think any place that we've gone to, I think we've had something, but my favorite places that so far, I would have to say, are out here in Missouri, probably Emmaus and Arcadia for activity wise. Yep.
What about MSP? What do you guys think of MSP?
I love MSP. It never disappoints. I think for me though, MSP, it's a great spot for beginners, and even the more serious ghost hunters as well, because I think that you're going to catch something there no matter what, as long as you have the patience and willingness to listen. I think MSP is more residual than it would be, act or intelligent, but I love MSP. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we went 2 or 3 times this year. Yeah. So
I've been twice this year.
Well, okay. So for everybody at home, because we have them across the country and we have a few in other countries, it's Missouri State Penitentiary that they're talking about. So when they refer to MSP, it's Missouri State Penitentiary.
Yeah, we got a lot of EVPs from there, and we got one that was crystal clear that says that they're watching us, and that was cool. And my wife was sleeping and we were on Highway 70 heading home, and actually I had my headphones on and I was driving and listening to it, and I wound up slapping her and waking her up, and she jumped up like we hit something, and she was it was amazing to hear that.
Wow. And it said, we're watching you.
It says they're watching us.
They're watching us. Oh, wow.
Yes.
What building were you in?
The female dorm.
Mm-hmm. So when I was up there the first time, I was working up there. I had to do the dowsing rods and the pendulum, for Haunted Soulz. And so we had a group up there. And then I was the lead. Carmen was the one that, anyway, she took the group downstairs. It was time to change. And I'm sitting up there by myself. And I heard a woman just as plain as day say, hello.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not with a recorder, nothing. Like it was audible. She said, hello. So I was like, hey.
Goodbye.
So I thought it was cool. That
the women's dorm is where I think we've had the most activity.
Right. I know you saw shadows up there.
Yeah, that's where we've seen apparitions. We've seen shadows. The last time we were there, a bunch of us heard a female scream from the top level.
That was crazy.
As soon as we walk in the building, just audible disembodied voices. Mm-hmm. I guess it may have something to do with that we're men in a women's dorm, and there's just more activity for us there than anywhere else. There's activity all over that place, obviously.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible to go there and not experience some kind of paranormal, whether you're a skeptic or not. It's just such an active place. It's an awesome place, and I love going there. And I think we've been a total of 8 times now, and we'll go 8 more. I love that place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. What do you guys? Let's talk about equipment.
Yeah. What
do you guys use and why?
A little bit of everything. Yeah, we're not afraid to try something new. I personally, though, I like more of the EVPs, the old school stuff, in my opinion. The EVPs, the EMF detectors, your gut, ears, cameras. We did just recently get a what camera was that?
The infrared.
The infrared IR cameras, the IR cameras, body cams. So those are my favorite. But the EMF detectors and stuff like that's direct response related, like a mag light and stuff. I like being able to see that right in front of my eyes. It solidifies what I'm thinking, and it kind of draws a conclusion for me right away. And it kind of helps me too. How do I address things moving forward, or something along that line?
Sure. Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. However, Brandy will tell you, when I go to locations, I don't use equipment. I never do, because I feel like my body tells me everything I need to know.
Mm-hmm. And you can walk in with a flashlight, and if your gut's telling you, hey, this don't feel right, or I feel uneasy here. Your body's the best piece of equipment you own.
Yeah, yeah. But I do like some of the new stuff that's come out. With the, like the ghost box and things like that, because you can get really intelligent experiences, I like all this stuff.
Being with Haunted Soulz and stuff like that, and using the Phasma box, necrophonics. Ray's buddy has an Ovilus, and we've used that a couple times and really enjoy that. Sometimes I think it's just off the wall weird things that are happening. But when you get 2 or 3 direct related responses to something, it starts triggering a lot of things, and I love that. And, cat balls are so easy, and they're so simple.
They are, absolutely. And they're legit too.
Right. You can't, And the one thing I like about wearing the body camera now is it shows what we see on just straight from our eyes. It's not pulling no punches. We're not here to do any of that type of stuff. We just we want to be able to document it and be able to show it behind.
Yeah. One of Brandy and I's favorite things to do is the Estes method.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ray loves doing that.
Yeah, we just started getting into that in the last year or so. Actually, Laura and Eric kind of were mentors into the Estes from Patriot Paranormal. And we've had a ton of success with Estes and just getting really good intelligent responses, and I feel is almost direct communication with paranormal, and we love to try it, and we've really never had a bad experience with it, and we've learned a lot. We still got a lot of learning to do it. I mean, we're no experts in it by any means, But
We're not either.
but it's definitely something, one of the tools on our tool belt that we've really started using a lot throughout our investigation. So
yeah, for those of you guys that don't know what the Estes method is, because I know there's a lot of Bigfoot people in our chat here. So the Estes method is where you have a couple people and one person is sitting on a chair, they're blindfolded and they have noise canceling headphones on and they're listening to the white noise. So it's kind of like a ghost box where ghosts can pick up on the waves and say words. So then you have somebody that is standing on the outside and they're asking the questions. So this person that's sitting with the headphones, they can't hear the questions. And I'll be darned if you wouldn't believe how many direct responses you get from doing the Estes method. I mean, it's like, wow, did they just really say that? They just answered my question, but that person that's sitting there, they don't know what you're asking. And that's what makes it really incredible.
Especially when it's random questions like, what's your favorite meat to put on a sandwich? And you hear him say bologna and you're like, and afterwards he's like, what the heck did bologna have to do with anything?
Yeah.
When you have the headphones on, you're really doubting yourself.
Right.
Like, did I really just hear baloney come through? But we'll go with it, Yep.
Right. That's one thing Brandy and I do though, is that Estes method. We like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I prefer to do it with a regular type of radio or something that emits something like that. The Phasma box, as much as I love it and it's great and all, but I'm kind of old school when it comes to something like that. I think that you're going to get more genuine responses through a Frank's box. I'm just going to go with it, a Frank's box. I've had marvelous results with the Frank's box versus the Phasma. And I guess I'm like that. Yep. I don't know.
Well, the Phasma, okay. I can't understand half the stuff that comes out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so if the reverb is so bad that it just, because the way that the Phasma box is set up is it's supposed to reverberate the sound. So if it says like 2 words and it'll kind of like round them until they say the next thing. So it kind of sometimes makes a sentence like it'll say, I like, and then you hear like, or whatever. And then you'll hear cookies and then it'll just roll all into one sentence. Right. And that is the reasoning behind the reverb. But I just spit it out to me. I'll wait on you. I mean, like cookies. I'll wait for the I like, and then I'll hear the cookies. Yeah. I gotcha. I can hear you. But I mean, some people like the Phasma box. I am not against it. I am, like I said, I am old school. I have got away from a lot of the electronics, and I've gone specifically for sound now that is attracting, the vibrations, which I always knew it did, because I mean, look at the Tesla coils that people do use to put kind of energy into the air through electricity. Well, I'm kind of like doing the same thing through vibration, and it works, and you're not scared to pick it up. Those Tesla coils, you're like, is it on? Is it on? Is it on? You're like trying to poke it. Is it on? But
like a Jacob's ladder type thing.
Like a Tesla coil that they plug in and it's going and shooting that.
That's like
that thing.
The Jacob's ladder thing.
Right. And I think for me, I'm trying to get away from that, because I got into electronics so much that I was missing what was happening right in front of my face, because I was looking at the bells and the whistles and seeing what was moving, what was not moving, when I'm not noticing the big old full-bodied apparition in the corner.
Right.
So have you ever done that? Been so busy, like
paying
attention to your equipment, and you're like, oh my God, I just missed it.
Right. And that's definitely happening, because I mean, there's times where you'll get cat balls, EMF detectors going off, and you're just more focused on watching them, when really you should be looking up down the hallway, or you should be looking up, and seeing what's going on right around it, what's causing it to go off. One thing I will be on, I stopped using cell phone apps that you can download from Play Store.
I was going to ask you guys about that. I agree.
So I'm one of those weird guys. I always feel like you download an app and they follow you. So if they got GPS enabled, why do they need GPS enabled? Because if they want to know you're in a graveyard, so they can the way the program's set up, maybe throw words that are out there that have to deal with graveyards that would make
Right.
you crap.
Yeah.
They're here.
Yep, you're talking about grandma to your wife, and then next thing you know, you go to ghost hunt that night, and then grandma comes.
That
You know?
grandma
Exactly.
pops up. Yeah, I mean, have you? Okay, so that happened to me one time. We were at an investigation, but we left for a while and we went to go grab something to eat, and they had a big old ice chest out in the back because they had a like a tiki bar type thing, and so we were sitting out on the patio having something to eat. And then I said something about the ice chest, the way they had it decorated, and then the next thing you know, we had this thing running, and it said ice. I'm like, that's kind of random, don't you think?
Coincidental, right?
Yeah, right. And then the other thing is anytime that you're downloading an app on your phone that has to do with this, if it says it needs access to your files and your microphone, that's a dead giveaway.
Right.
Yep.
So don't do those, people. Just don't do them. There's stuff out there on the market that doesn't include the apps.
Right.
Save your money.
Correct.
Save your money.
Yep. And to me, you get what you pay for. So if you go out and you buy a ghost box, yes, you're going to pay more for it than you are for an app on your phone.
Yes.
You know what, though? A ghost box is, in my opinion, more legit than the phone
Right.
app.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you ever used one of those? What do they call them? A geophone or something? It's like a big old geoport. Or I've not used one, so I don't know how legit they are.
I've never used them.
They're
I
so
can't understand
expensive.
them
I don't
either.
know who does them. I mean,
Yeah.
we're broke already.
Well,
I mean-
that's the thing. I got so much equipment I want to buy. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we're broke already. I mean, just throw something else out there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a question for you guys. What are your thoughts on the God's helmet? Have you guys done it?
Oh yeah. Steve has had some very good, good and bad.
I have done it
experiences with
twice. I don't think I'm going to be doing it for a while. The first experience was actually really darn cool. The second experience wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. The first experience we did at Emmaus, and we were in the college dorm up on the top floor. And first time doing it.
I was up there, I think, with you.
You were, right?
Up there with you. Yeah.
I remember, yeah. And I wound up seeing the doctor or seeing the hallway, and then all the doors, and there were two that were open, and then somebody was peeking around the corner, and then I wound up in what I think it was a surgery room. When I saw the table and the doctor standing there in his white coat, he had a beard and just kept wiping his hands off, and then Frankie and Dan were trying to ask us some questions, and it blew me away. It was weird. It's hard to describe, like how you put on a helmet that does kind of like a light show with EMF and stuff like that. And the next thing you know, you're seeing things. It was weird how that happened. I will say that the second experience that I had got very, very personal. I don't really want to explain it, but I will say that that it probably was the last time that I will do it. It left me with a lot of questions. So I am very thankful for Dan and Frankie and Jeremiah. They reacted very quickly. What I saw was a blast from the past, and it hit me hard, and they were there quick. I mean, before I had a mini freak out, and between my wife and them, and they were there quick to take it off.
You better not wear the helmet no more, Steve.
Yeah, it was, and I'll have to explain it to you guys sometime, but it was definitely an eye opener for me.
Where was that time at? Where were you at?
The surgery room at Emmaus up in the Sets building.
Yeah, we know that room.
Yeah, and I think my first experience with the God's helmet was with KD Stafford, who actually made the one that you used.
Right.
But I was using his personal helmet. Okay, so that is a whole nother ball of wax using that thing, because his is like, I don't know. it was like 10 times stronger than the one that you were using.
Right.
So when I was using it, now I'm sitting in a room, they've got a camera on me and they're watching it from a remote screen down the hallway.
Where were you
So
at, Brandy?
Where
were you at?
Ashmore Estates.
Okay.
I was at Ashmore doing this. So they were down the hallway, and I was actually in Robin's Nest, if you guys know where that room is.
Yeah.
Robin's Nest. It's in Ashmore Estates. You got to go in there. It's pretty fun. So basically, I wasn't seeing specific people, but I was seeing like shadows, like just walking back and forth in front of me and stopping and looking at me and moving on. And, it was just like, where did they come from? Because once I took this helmet off, I could not see them anymore.
Right.
They were just walking, and the cadence with the lights was a tribal cadence of some sort, that I didn't know what it was. But I'm telling you, it was kind of strange for me to see that, because I walk in, I put it on, I'm not seeing anything. And then within about 5 minutes, bam, I'm seeing all of this stuff that I couldn't see before. And then I took it off and then I couldn't see it again. I was like, what is happening? So that just goes to show you what's actually going on in the space that you're in that you don't even realize is going on. That's why a lot of the times, Krista she won't use electronics. She will just watch.
Yep.
I do.
And sometimes, that's the best time. And I'll be honest, we've had, when it gets to be 11:30 midnight and you're starting to get a little slap happy and you guys start goofing off and joking around. Yeah. Sometimes that's when you get the best reactions out of spirits, or, you got to have fun while you do it. And I think, when you're real with them, you joke around, and if they're intelligent, and heck, they haven't had somebody come in there and joke around. Usually people come in there, do you know that you're dead? How old are you? Are you a boy or a girl? If you go in there and you're like, whew, it's colder than a witch's, out there, and you're like, and then you get a door that slams and you're like, oh, so you're going to play games all night tonight. And, you joke around with them. You'd be surprised at the responses that you can get, as long as you're respectful with it. And that's the thing. We're not disrespectful, but we like to have a good time with the entities. And sometimes it works in our favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Brandy and I, when we go to places too, we don't ask normal questions either. Right. We were at Malvern.
No, I don't.
We were actually at Malvern Manor, and if you guys have never been there, you guys got to go.
Yeah.
But we had a group there. It was actually a Blondes and Booze event. We had everybody sitting in the main room there, and everybody was sitting around in a circle. And so Brandy was running a EVP recorder, and she would ask a question, and everybody would go around and give their answer. Mm-hmm. And we asked, I think she asked one was, what's your favorite cookie? So everybody went around, chocolate chips, snickerdoodles, peanut butter, whatever, and everybody would go around, and we would get responses of these things saying their favorite cookies.
Their favorite cookie. We even did one on sports. I said, what's your favorite sport? I'd go around the room, and I think it came up baseball, and it's in between people talking. So that's one of my favorite things to do with the group, because you will catch them interacting.
Right. Yeah,
when
they
you
want to
hear
them.
them.
They have a favorite something. Yeah.
They're never part of conversations really anymore. And you get people who are excited to go in there and investigate the place. And then it's like they walk in there and their mind goes blank. So they come up with the first thing, it's just, you gotta spice it up a little bit.
Absolutely. You do. You really do. And like you said, so many people go in there and they ask the same dumb questions that they've been asked a gazillion times, change it up. And, you can ask questions like, oh, what's your favorite music or something like that. You can get a time frame from when they're at, so you can get a lot of information by not asking the typical questions.
Right.
Yeah. And they're super simple. Do you like to wear pants or skirts? You can find out a lot. Okay, so we're dealing with the female, or we're dealing with the male here. Okay.
We've even, she's right. We've even asked heels or flats,
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you like
I don't know if you can
cars?
ask them. I just watched that Ed Gaines documentary. So,
That was a pretty good documentary, I guess.
It was, I don't know how historically accurate it was, but it was it was definitely an eye catcher for the whole series.
He was a sick individual.
And the person who played him was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you're like, what kind of deep dive do you have to do to get a character for that? You're like, oh.
Yep. You know, a good documentary I seen on that, and here we go, going squirrel sideways, but was with it had Steve Shippey and Cindy Kaza. They went up there, and oh my gosh, because Cindy, you know, she's phenomenal, and man, that was a scary. Have you seen that one, Brandy?
I did. It was really good. It was really good.
Worth watching. It's better than the documentary that just came out.
Yeah, as soon as she gets her pen and her paper, it's on. You know, it's like it's on, and it was just, you know, she get into these places, and it was just a matter of a minute or two, and she's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, but yeah, that was a really good one. But I haven't seen the new one. I don't know why I'm not interested in it. I am, but I'm like, man, I don't want to watch this.
Brandy, you like killing?
I do. But again, like what was said, how much is it? Like, how much is it factual? You know, how many facts are they giving, or how much is added in just to make it a TV type thing?
See, just like Dahmer. Dahmer I thought was absolutely a great series on Netflix, but how accurate was it? I don't know. But it was that one. Actually, I think my wife didn't even watch the last episode. She said she was done with it. Like, it was that creepy to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Serial killers. Some of those are no, thank you.
Yeah, they're it just gets, it's 3 a.m. thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't like those. I don't like those.
Yeah. So you guys, what can you tell us about, like, besides the God's helmet with you, Steve? One time that you guys were like, oh shoot, I'm scared, you know, like
Three of us were out. Yeah. Paul. Yeah. Well, you can tell that one.
Yeah. Oh man. That was so we were at Morris Mill in Hillsboro, Missouri. And I'm not sure if you guys have ever been there before. It's a super active place.
It is.
It's pre-Civil War, hotel, hospital, bank, post office, brothel, you name it. It's been everything over the years. And that's one of the places where literally the second we walked in, we heard two females having a conversation on the second floor, to the point where we thought there was someone in the building. And we go up there, there's nobody there. There's super loud, disembodied voices, and that carried on through the whole night. Whispers, the screams, I mean, footsteps. I mean, it was crazy. It was awesome. Well, we were in one of the bedrooms on the first floor, which is right across from the entrance to where the basement is, which down there is where they have they used to hide slaves there on the Underground Railroad and things like that. So there's a bunch of activity down in the basement. But on the first floor, there was what was there, about
3 rooms, I think, 3 or 4.
Yeah. In our group, there was probably about 6 of us?
6 of us, yeah.
6 of us, and we were in the main bedroom on the first floor. And we had a bunch of our devices out, EMF detectors out in the hallway. Right as you walk in the room, on the desk, there was one on the bed even. Steve,
I'm just reliving this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Steve's he's got the camera. We were getting some pretty good activity in there. Some intelligent responses on the EMF detectors. We were using some dowsing rods, things like that. And we decided that we were going to utilize the spirit box. And as we're getting the spirit box ready, every one of us in our group, minus Steve, because he was too focused on the camera, he wasn't paying attention, like we were talking about earlier. We saw this giant shadow figure move very slowly in front of the door, so much so that it blocked the light coming from the basement. So it blacked out the door frame. This giant figure. We all saw it. We're all just kind of staring at it in fear. Steve's just like not even paying attention. But I turn on the spirit box as this is happening, and I ask the generic, "What's your name?" You know. This very loud male voice came through and said, "Paul," very distinct. And it was at this moment that the shadow just kind of vanished, but every single one of our devices went off simultaneously.
We had 3 cat balls in a row, and all 3 of them went off, one right after another, coming into the room.
basically like it was bum rushing us in the room.
Right.
And
I think everybody got scared crapless on that one. My wife, his wife, his buddy's wife, they all screamed. His buddy was laying on the bed. He jumped up out of the bed and ran into the corner. I look over my shoulder and Ray's like this on top of me. And he said, I'm not with my back to that corner no more. Yeah. It was weird. And like I said, and as soon as after the cat balls went off, that shadow disappeared. Then the basement, the hallway lit up, or the stairway lit up from the basement again with the fire down there. And everything went silent. It was, watching the video, we got a kick out of it. I wish we would have acted a little bit better. But I think that was the first time that we were like the pucker factor was really there.
Yeah, it was. And I remember we talked to the owner the next day because he asked, what kind of experiences we had. And we told him about that. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's Ed. He said his name was Ed. He sees him all the time. And this has been a situation that has occurred with several other groups investigating it. They see this giant 7-foot tall figure in this specific hallway. And he says he's like a protector of the house. And they call him Ed. He told us his name was Paul, so I don't know. But he
didn't want you to know. He just didn't want you to know.
Exactly. So
and if we didn't have a team name, that would have been a good team name right there. It would have been Spookie Dookie because somebody left one somewhere in that house that night.
Somebody needed a spare change of clothes.
Exactly.
I get that.
I think after that we all we ordered Emo's Pizza and we sat out there and just stared at each other for about 20 minutes.
It was silent for a little bit. That one got us going for sure. But that's my most, scary, spooky situation that actually kind of startled me because I was not expecting to see this giant figure black out a doorway and then basically bum rush us.
Yeah, I think that's when you know that it got you because I mean, if it makes you stop and say, "Hey, we're ordering pizza and let's talk about this," because
it was funny because afterwards, we were all kind of stumbling over our words, and I just remember saying, "All right, well, whoever it was, you got us good. I'm not going to deny it." So we all laughed about it afterwards, but for that 2-3 minutes, we were just like, "What literally just happened to us?"
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I've had it happen to me probably 2 good times,
right?
Where you're like, "I've got to get out of here for a minute."
Yep.
Okay, you got me.
That was a good one.
Yeah, because I'm not a runner.
Right.
And I'll sit down. I'll be like, okay, you got me. Okay.
We were all just frozen. I think we were just frozen and like, what are we looking at? Like, how is this happening?
Sure.
And I'm not, things that you can see, you can address, you can figure out how to react to, but when you just see a black mass, what do you do? There's nowhere to go.
Right.
I understand that completely. It's you're like, where do we go from here? And absolutely every time it's happened to me, not a camera, not audio, I didn't get nothing of it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, we watched
that's
the
why I love to investigate with other
16
people to validate, so somebody else can say, yeah, I saw it too. And I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing things. All right, we're good.
We watched it 5 or 6 times and we didn't get the shadow on camera, but we did get the cat balls going off in sequence and we did get the voice box saying Paul. So it adds up. But it would have been really awesome to get that shadow on there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually funny because one of the guys that was with us that night was his first time ever doing any kind of a ghost hunt because he was a complete skeptic and he did not believe in ghosts. And he would just, he was one of the good guys I work with, and he was just constantly like, man, that's not true. That's made up. There's no such thing as ghosts. And I was just like, come with us. Just come with us one time and just experience what we do. And he was actually the one laying on the bed whenever we all saw this figure who jumped up and went and hid behind his wife. And now he's a believer and he refuses to go back to that place. So,
wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
And that was at Morse Mill?
Yeah, Morse Mill. Highly recommend for any investigator to go there because it's a great place.
I thought it was closed down or something. It's not closed now?
Yes and no. So it is up for sale right now.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it is up for sale. If you get a hold of the owner or the owner's son, they'll set up something with you privately.
Cool.
Okay.
And then they charge a flat rate per person. So I'll say it's a little bit more on the expensive side. But it's kind of like one of those one and done places. Like if you go there one time, you'll understand why it's an absolute blast.
Yeah. Yep. There's a few places out there that I like that. I'm with you on Emmaus for sure.
Yeah, Emmaus is great.
Yeah, that's
Emmaus in July, not so much.
Yeah.
But Emmaus in general.
sucks. And in November, because I was there in November too, and it sucked then.
Oh wow, yeah.
It was cold. It was cold.
Yeah, it was freakishly cold. I mean, it was like I just couldn't get warm to save my life. I don't know what happened, but I went out and got in my car, and it was like 34 degrees out there.
Yep.
And it was like damp and misty, and you're just like, you could feel yourself freezing up as you're outside. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you had to go to your car to thaw out.
Oh yeah.
But that's a great place. It really is. I love Emmaus. My top 3 is Emmaus, Ray County Museum, of course, that'll always have my heart, and Malvern Manor.
Those last 2 are on our bucket list for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you let me know when you want to go to the Ray County Museum. We get you in there anytime.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Our
we'll make the trip over, and we'll just.
Yeah, we'll come up with you.
Hey, that would be a blast.
Yes.
Yeah, just let me know, seriously, because Kathy is one of our dear friends. She's one of my besties, and yeah, she lets us come whenever we want.
Yeah,
as long
exactly.
as we don't have nothing else, nobody else scheduled for it.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then Malvern Manor. Oh my God, that place is freaking incredible too.
Are they pretty close to each other?
They're about 2
Oh, no,
hours.
okay.
About 2 hours apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what am I thinking next to Ray County?
Hollow Waters. That's a haunted location that they used to do ghost stuff out of.
I thought there was another mansion up there, but maybe I'm thinking wrong.
Harney Mansion is in Sullivan, Missouri.
Okay. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah. That's a haunted location. I've been there a couple times.
Right.
I used to take my kids trick-or-treating there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's a pretty crazy location. They do a lot of ghost stuff. And I know the Sullivan Police, we did a thing with the Sullivan Police Department there, a ghost thing. That was fun.
Speaking of candy and Halloween, last time we were at Emmaus, I took some dum-dums out there, and we got a lot of good interactions with the dum-dums.
Oh, interesting. Were you there this past weekend?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So we went there for a private with Patriot back in what was it, July? I think, yeah, it was.
Was that the private one?
Yeah, it was about 110 degrees outside,
that way,
and
yeah.
I think we were all dying of heat exhaustion. But we took the dum-dums out there and had a lot of good reactions with them, and I wound up taking them back this last time, and still, I mean, the REM pods would go off around them. We would get the REM pods to go off, cat balls would go off with it. So yeah, I mean, it's something about dum-dums. I never would have thought about that, but when we went my wife and I went to Estes Park to the Stanley Hotel for our honeymoon a couple of years ago. Well, I should know this answer, like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that.
We won't tell her.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Anyways, so we went there, and actually the dum-dums is where they introduced us to them, because it was a candy that was well known back in the day, and it was one of the first, like, legitimate suckers companies. And so I actually held one in my palm, and my wife's got video of it actually standing up on its own from laying the down position and standing up. And all my arm was all raised up and goosebumps, and hair was standing straight up.
Wow.
So now everywhere we go, I always take dum-dums with me. It's a good snack if you get hungry.
Yeah, actually, Randy, next weekend.
So,
Yes, we'll take some dum-dums.
take some dum-dums. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And
I get all the root beer ones. I like the root beer
There
flavor.
you go. Snack.
If your blood sugar drops, you'll be happy. So
Exactly. We'll all be running around in a sugar high, but it'll be fine.
That's right.
I've always had good success with candy, like the old cinnamon disc that you would get in the wrappers.
Oh yeah.
The root beer barrels, the butterscotch ones too. I always got really good results with those. I've always got good results depending on where I am and what the building was all about. With whiskey is one, and cigarettes are another.
Yes, cigarettes.
I've had good results with those three things as trigger objects. So yeah, the candy makes sense, especially in that particular, like in Emmaus, that would make a lot of sense because it was a school, and it was a lot of things. But yeah, everybody likes candy.
So it's always fun bringing trigger objects like that. It gives you something to relate to.
I do have a question for you. So I have never been to the Stanley Hotel, and it is on my bucket list that I will be going. And I want to go because they say there's ghost fish in the fish tank. Did you see anything?
I don't know. We did not actually stay there. We went just for the ghost evening ghost tour. I think it was like 3 hours, and they took us through all the buildings. They took us downstairs in the basement where the tunnels were. And then in each place we were allowed to kind of ghost hunt a little bit. And, not anybody had equipment, but it was just kind of, you could do EVPs, take pictures, stuff like that. And it was cool. They had a lot of neat artifacts there from back in the day when it was built, the original safe that held all the money, stuff like that. But I never heard anything about ghost fish there.
Ghost fish. Yeah. I swear to God, that's one of my reasons I want to go.
I was there and I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything, but then again, there's people everywhere.
Right.
Pretty much all the time.
But see, I want to stay there at the hotel.
That is on our bucket list of me and my wife were talking maybe for our 10-year anniversary, maybe going back and just, even if it's just one night, just to say we went there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
it's on my bucket list. I'm going.
Yeah. I've done that at a hotel or two. I've just saved up just to go stay there.
Right.
And I've had really good results that way, especially doing it during the week when there's less people and where you have a lot of free roam. And I have a lot better interaction that way.
Yeah.
But I have good time. I have good times at hotels. I really do.
We stayed at Arcadia and stayed the night there before the Soulz took over. What was it? I forgot. It was in November. Maybe it was last November. Was it?
Last November. It was cold.
It was cold.
Very cold.
Before the Soulz actually started running things out of there. And we stayed in the priest house because in order to investigate there, you had to rent out the entire priest house. Then the owner would let you go to other places. And so we did that. And that's the only hotel that's been, or the bed and breakfast that's been haunted that I've stayed at, that honestly, I've slept great there. I felt like I was welcomed. Like
there was good in haunted places. I really do.
It was like, it was a great, I could walk around that place without a flashlight and feel okay. Minus maybe falling down some steps or something.
Yeah.
But as far as anything popping out and getting you or anything, like I feel safe walking around in there. And, usually if we stayed at the Crescent, we stayed at other places, bed and breakfast that are known to be haunted. And, my wife will keep the TV on all night. She keeps the living room light on all night. And there we slept with all the lights off, no TV on. We were actually very comfortable there. It was weird.
Yeah.
Weird
so Brandy was at the Crescent and she captured an incredible picture. So you were there. So this would be good. I'm going to show it to you guys.
Well, you can't just use it as an overlay. You have to be able to zoom in on it or you won't be able to really get a good view of it. Do you know how to do it that way?
There's two different on here though. Let me try.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Is that a crazy picture? Woo!
Why is it not coming up?
It did for a second. There you go.
There it is.
So this one, you can see it. So do you guys see in the left-hand corner, a lady right over the rail?
Yeah. Right there. Mm-hmm.
And Brandy's
she's not there.
She's really not. Well, she's not because you don't see the bottom half of her.
Oh, wow.
No, she's not there.
She said there's no pictures or nothing behind that reflected. She went back and checked all that.
That's awesome. That's a great.
And then if you look directly in the middle.
Is that a hat?
Yeah. You see the hat?
Yeah.
If you can get up close to it, it is really cool because it looks like they're wearing glasses and everything. Yeah. So I caught two different styles of full-bodied apparitions in one picture.
Yeah, that is good. That's awesome.
Yeah. And honestly, that's one of the top captures I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I caught that
one
outside
place
of
on
room
the left was crazy.
226. Yeah, outside of room 226 down that hallway. There's nothing in the hallway. Nothing.
Right.
There's no furniture, no pictures, no flowers, there was nothing. Nothing.
So that
Did you
one's on
get-
my bucket list too. I'm going there.
When you were there, did you go down to the Basin Park Hotel at all to do a tour or anything?
Yeah, I did every tour they
Yep.
had to offer.
We didn't do the
everyone.
underground, but the Basin was pretty fun too.
Mhm. Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't. I want to. I actually want to stay in that hotel to see what I can catch with that.
Right.
Now my daughter was 11, 12. No, she was 11 when that picture was taken, and she's actually standing behind me as I'm taking the picture.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
She loves to ghost hunt. Our kids are very into it, so we just Chris and I end up talking while they're hunting.
Well, some
Well,
places we'll take them. Some places we won't, but
Right.
There are places we won't take them, but like the Crescent, yeah, I'm gonna take her. I'm gonna let her run. I'm gonna just let her just go do her thing. And she had a blast.
mhm.
I'm like that. with
Ashmore
Elias.
Estates is another one that we'll let our kids go. We'll let them go at the Ray County Museum. We'll let them go there. There's a few places.
Used to it, Ray County. We're
Used
not
to.
going there anymore.
Not until we
we got,
fix
we
that
got a
problem.
nasty over there. We got a problem to take care of over there now. So, yeah, they won't be going back there. So, you guys are in Fredericktown.
No, we're in Peevely.
You're in Peevely. Okay. Okay. Well, you are still in that area of Bigfoot.
Yes.
So our cabin, which is in Lesterville, our neighbor who passed away a couple of years ago, but he was actually interviewed by Fox 2 down there. He told us all about it, about the sightings that he had down there in the hills. And he swears up and down that he saw Bigfoot down there. Now, I haven't seen anything yet, but deer season is coming, so who knows?
So, have you guys heard the howls at Emmaus?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
What did you guys think of those?
It definitely helps with the creepiness of the place. I ain't gonna lie. Hunting and stuff like that. I've heard coyotes. Deer scream. Deer,
Oh yeah, and you can hear all that out there.
Yeah. And to me, none of that matches up
No,
to what we heard out there.
no.
Ray and my
doesn't.
nephew actually saw red eyes
The last time we
the
were
last
there.
time they were there. My nephew got freaked the heck out after seeing that in the woods.
Yeah, it was.
So
two-
we're at the woods because when I go to Emmaus, I go sit out back there. I go sit on the picnic table in the woods.
so
In the
if,
sets, right in the back of the sets building is what you're saying?
yeah,
Yeah, right behind set.
if you were looking at the, if you're standing outside the asylum, looking straight at it to the left, there's like a little shed over there.
Mhm.
Right to the left of that shed, there was two super bright red eyes staring right back at us. And as soon as I flashed my flashlight on it, they ran off. And
Oh wow.
yeah, they were bright red.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was a reflection or something like that. So
Yeah.
that one really creeped me out. And then that's the same night we heard the screams and things. So it's like
My nephew.
what's going on back there?
That was the same night that the banjos played.
The banjos in the woods, from
Yeah.
from behind the what house is that?
If you're looking at the sets building to your left, there's those group of
Right, the one that's kind of run down.
Yeah.
Very rundown. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the night. So it was 110 degrees outside. We had a wicked storm coming through. So the atmosphere was nice and charged for us. And we had three groups. So it was us, Patriot Paranormal, and Twisted Sisters Paranormal were out there. And L&M, I'm sorry, L&M were out there. So L&M and Patriot were in the sets building. We went to the dilapidated house with, we'll call it the Ladybug House because I think there was like 3.2 million ladybugs in there. And then Twisted Sisters went to the college dorm. And we were walking into the building, the house, and we could hear banjo music playing. And I'm like, we're in Marthasville, you never know. And so you're looking in the woods, you're like, maybe there's a banjo playing circle back here or something. Somebody's having on fire, some bongos. Nothing was back there. And so we get back to the admin building and we're talking to everybody that's sitting there. And somebody says, did anybody else hear some music? And it was Twisted Sisters. They were over at the college. And we said, yeah, we heard it from all the way over there. Well, it was in the Halloween closet, I guess, when you walk into the sets building, that first room to your left where all the props are, there was a banjo playing skeleton back there. So it was in the off position. The batteries were loose in it. So we started questioning some things. And it started playing. Like it legitimately would turn off and on by voice. So I went over there. I clapped. I mean, everybody else, I'm pretty sure did too, but I clapped. I waved my hand in front of it.
Kicked it a couple times.
I may have touched it with my foot lightly a couple times. And it would turn off and on demand. And, you know, L&M would be like, okay, that's enough. And it would stop. And we were like, what the hell is going on tonight?
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was the craziest thing I heard, but the banjo playing enough, I was on the fence about. It's like, okay, you know, but then for it to be able to, whatever was manipulating it that night, for it to be able to broadcast it from the sets building to the house to the college dorm, like something wanted us in there. And it was playing games with us all night. So we would be in the surgery room and it would go off. So we'd go over to the prop room and then we would hear footsteps and dragging in the surgery room. We go back there, the banjo would start playing again. It was just playing. It was playing mind games with us.
Sounds like.
Finally, L&M and Patriot joined us, and we all three picked a spot. Like our three groups, each one of us picked a place, and it stopped all the way across. It was weird. It was like, oh, gotcha, you know. And then as soon as we came back together, the banjo would start playing again.
And we had some communication doing Estes where the spirits were telling us that the music is cursed.
Yes.
Which corroborates this banjo. And the banjo toy itself wasn't super loud. It's just a little toy. But like Steve said, the switch is in the off position. It wasn't motion activated or voice activated. It was wrapped up in a trash bag completely. We had to undo the trash bag to pull it out. And the fact that the banjo music projected itself in 4 different spots across the entire campus in different buildings, that every group heard it. It was pulling us into the building, and that's where we had the most activity at. And one of the most wild things we've ever experienced.
I will say the next day, myself and Eric from Patriot Paranormal, we went over there and took batteries out of it. We're not playing with the banjo the next day. We were over it. But yeah, I mean that night was absolutely crazy there, and I think it was the storm and.
Yeah.
Well, our group and my nephew, he came along for the first time with us. We were sitting in the surgery room and we were sitting down there and we heard what sounded like a metal desk or a metal bed being dragged across the floor up at us. And as soon as we went up the steps and turned the corner from that surgery room, you go up the steps where you can open up that door, it stopped. As soon as we hit the top of those steps, it stopped dragging. Whatever it was dragging stopped.
And it was a good 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
it wasn't a quick bang. It was a very loud, to the point we were mid conversation and we all stopped talking and it continued for another 10 or 15 seconds before we started walking up the stairs. And as soon as we got to the top of the stairs, it just stopped. We opened the door to the hallway, nothing there. There's nothing that could even made that noise in the hallway. That was one of the really good, and we got it on camera too. We got the sound on camera. And it was really cool for his nephew to experience. He was like, that was the coolest thing I ever experienced. You know, he's really into it because he got to actually witness paranormal.
He got like a trifecta that night. I told him not all investigations are like this.
No. Although Emmaus, though, is pretty much doesn't disappoint. It really doesn't.
No, Emmaus is great.
Brandy and we took out Miguel Ramirez from Sasquatch Theory.
Right.
And then Jay was out there with us, and Terry Mosby from the team. She was out there with us, and we were out there in the back of the sets at the picnic table sitting, doing more along the lines of more Bigfooting than ghost.
Right.
And that night, I kid you not, it was crazy active. Brandy, you were there. Tom. So we also had the Ozark Hairy Man show up. He's a friend of Miguel's. So he come out there, and Brandy witnessed, he got scared like a little girl and left out of the sets building.
Yes. He said he'll do Bigfoot, but he doesn't do ghost at all. And as we were sitting there, because we're all, paying attention to what's going on in the woods, we're, doing tree knocks, we're doing little calls, we're just
and getting responses too.
And we're super focused, and everybody was outside. Everybody was accounted for. And then we turn around and look at this building, and we're looking straight into the third floor, I think.
Right.
We're looking straight into the third floor, but you look up on the fourth floor and you could see like a little dim light flashing from room to room, like as if somebody had a flashlight and was checking on the rooms up there. Nobody was inside.
Right.
At all. Nobody. Nope.
Wow.
And that's when he said, that's it. And then he was scared because then he had to run up and get his stuff off the fourth floor and then bring it back down because it was all pointed out to the woods. And he's like, I'm done. And he was gone. I would say it took him no more than 20 minutes to get his stuff and get out.
Yep.
And he was done. But, talking about that house, it's the 2-story and it's dilapidated. You got to really watch yourself going in there. But I went in there also, but it was just by myself. And I went around to the back. And as I was going around, I heard a child laugh, like a toddler.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah.
There's no houses back there.
Nope. No, it's just woods.
It's just completely woods.
We heard footsteps in there. It would have been cool to hear a child's voice. That's definitely something new I haven't heard about yet. I like that.
Yeah, I think it was probably, it was warm outside. The wasps were out because I was fighting them. So it had to have been May or June.
Right.
And that's when I heard it. And I was like, that's strange because there was a guy up at the church that was playing bongos one time.
Oh my God, that was annoying.
Were
you guys there that night? Were you guys there?
It was for, I think, pro night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was our first time.
That was our first time there, was pro night.
Right. So I'm thinking, did this guy take his family up there? Are they hanging out up there? Are they living behind the church? What's going on? Because, that the place has got some really eccentric residents.
Well, they had the gypsies were there, remember?
For a while they were there, yes.
Yeah, so like I said, you just never know what you're going to run into out there. No. And they're not there now, by the way, everybody. But I thought, maybe somebody was walking around up there and they had one of their children. There was nobody up there. We looked everywhere. It's nobody. So that to me was a new type of sound that I hadn't heard either. But every time I hear children, I get a little nervous.
Yeah,
right.
We do too.
So I'm hoping that was some type of residual, energy that was left versus, intellectual. That's scary.
But also Bigfoot is known to mimic the sounds of children. They say to lure people into the woods. Because you hear a kid, you're going to go check it out. You hear a baby crying, you're going to go check it out.
I will say it depends on what type of kid laugh you hear. Some of these movies, if I hear a kid laugh like that, I'm running the other way.
Okay, so the kid laugh. Right. So this kid laugh, all right, was okay. If anybody has seen Pet Cemetery.
Yep. Nope. I'm out. Yep.
That is the laugh. Okay. That's that little kid laugh. And I said, I'm out of here. Thank you very much. And I backed out. I didn't walk out. I backed out. I said,
I'll make that call to Warren County and let them earn that night.
Yeah. It's like, I'm done with that. Thanks.
Right.
Because I don't even know how to describe that laugh, except it was like that.
Right.
And if it would have said, I want to play with you, I would have, I don't know. I would probably had a heart attack right there and fell out. I don't know. I don't know.
We're sprinting out.
Yeah, I was going to say.
We're out.
Yeah, because Krista and I talk about it all the time. It's kind of like, you can hear children and you can see children. And, a lot of the times it's residual.
Right.
I'm going to say 99% of the time it's residual. And, but if you're dealing with it on a different level, that's when I'm out. I don't believe that there are. Can one get lost? Sure. There is that. We are unsure about everything, but when it comes to children, I'm kind of like thinking that is something drawing you in and you don't want to be a part of that.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I know Frank and Dan have said that they've seen a little kid in the asylum in the set building.
Well, they got the video of it.
Yeah, the little boy.
So they have witnessed spirits of children there in the building. So
That freaks me out. That's the creepy thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, can one get lost? Sure. I mean, it's not, we are all amateurs when it comes to this. There are no professionals in our field.
Right.
So I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe it. Please don't let it be true. Because it just tugs at your heart that a child could be lost out there.
Right.
And it could be, maybe they're trying to find their parents or siblings, or they're looking for someone.
Right.
And they're just not there. So they're kind of like just staying stagnant in that area, continuing to look. But I don't know. What do you guys think about? I don't know.
I'm on your side. I think if we're experiencing sightings of spirits as children or voices, that it's probably something a little darker, trying to pull at your heartstrings and drag you in.
Yeah, that's if I'm getting intelligent responses. Now, like I said, I have seen them, but it has been absolutely residual. And people are like, well, what do you mean by residual? I'm like, okay, so people talk about the lady in white that comes down the stairs every night between 12 and 1. That is kind of a residual loop.
Right.
She does
She's
the same
repeating
thing.
a same pattern.
She doesn't interact. She doesn't do anything. She just does the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But when they start interacting with you, like looking at you and saying stuff to you, or, replying to what you're saying, answering your questions. No.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. No.
Nope.
No. We're going to have to call somebody else, because that's not where I'm at.
No,
I hear you.
I will tell you, if you guys ever decide to go down toward our cabin, let us know. We'll get you guys set up with a bonfire, place to stay, and you guys can go bang on trees all night long. And I'll look at you from the deck. And if you guys need to see Bigfoot, call me and I'll come down and get him for you.
I'll be like, hey, we need a little help, please.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
I'll come down there.
There's actually been several sightings of Bigfoot down there, but it's actually just Steve trying to find his way to his deer stand after a couple hours.
Well, I mean, but that's good for you, Steve, though. I mean, because if you're an avid hunter, you are used to the sounds that surround your area. Right. So, I mean, can animals make crazy noises? Sure, some things that are really off the wall, but you're kind of like, well, that was something like a bobcat. We all know that a bobcat can sound like many different things.
Right.
But you kind of know. You're like, yeah, that really sounds like a bobcat, or whatever.
I'll tell you, when I was in middle school, the first time that I went hunting by myself, I didn't know what it was. But in the morning before the sunrise, you hear a lot of things coming, and of course, your mind starts playing games with you, especially after you watch the Blair Witch Project. So you hear the crackling in the creek, and you're like, I'm gonna wake up dead. I already know. As sun comes up, I'm screwed. But as a kid, you hear a doe scream, and it was the scariest thing I've ever spelt with. Who's that?
Rojo says, I just have to say, Spooky Dookie is one of the best names I've ever heard. LOL.
Exactly. So now you can think of them every time you go, and you're like, you get creeped out when you have to use the restroom in an unknown location.
Yep.
That's right.
But yeah, hearing a doe scream in the morning before the sun, it sounds like a legitimate
female
scream. You're like, what the
heck? It does.
Who's out here in the woods? And until I actually saw one with my own eyes, I remember I in high school, I dropped a buck, and I remember a doe let out a scream to watch to see what that buck would do after I shot it. It wasn't going to move. It was going to run off. And then it clicked in my head. I'm like, holy crap, that's what I've been hearing the last few years. And, so yeah, you hear bobcats, you'll hear doe, squirrels, everything out there, and it starts adding up. So yeah, Adamea, some of those howls that we've heard, I mean, I'm no zoologist or anything like that, but I will tell you that it doesn't sound normal.
No.
And
we've actually asked cryptozoologists to listen to what we've caught on audio, and they said, I don't know what that is, but it's nothing that
and the one even looked up, like, because he's not from here, and looked up like native animals to Missouri and things like that, just to rule everything out. He's like, you guys got something there.
Yeah.
So I mean, so we've been there, and we don't know exactly what it is. We don't know what it is, and we just don't. I mean, but that's the fun of it, right? That's what we're there for.
Yeah.
Trying to find out.
Yep. You know, the ghost is fun and stuff, but honestly, my heart's more in the cryptid side of things now.
Right.
You know, because ghosts don't scare me anymore. I don't get that adrenaline rush, and I'm an adrenaline junkie. So, and I get that the going out to the middle of the woods by myself, that gets me again. My adrenaline's going. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's become my new love.
For me, I love it all. I love it all. I mean, I'll take either or. You say we're going looking for Bigfoot. Okay. We're going to a haunted location. Okay. I just need to know what equipment I need to take with me. Do I need to take a tent or do I need my backpack? What do I need? You know, because I'm still trying to put all of it together, you know, to find out how it all connects. And it's just a matter of time now. I mean, there's a bunch of us on it these days. Yeah. So I'm hoping that, you know, we can still get these younger generations. I've said it many, many times, get these younger generations moving in too. And hopefully someday we'll figure out how all these things work and how they click together. Cause I believe that they are intertwined. It's something crazy about it. You know, I mean,
the night we were out there with Miguel and them, we had Bigfoot things going on. We had the sets building had lights, you know, Brandy told you about all that. And then up in the sky, I kid you guys not, we saw, 20 UFOs. And Terry has the app on her phone that shows what's satellites, what's planes.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It was unidentified. All of them.
Yep.
It was incredible.
Yeah. So there is a lot going on in Missouri. Yeah, Missouri, we keep preaching this, but Missouri is one of those places that you don't have to go real far to find something weird and scary.
No, right.
It's underrated.
It's all over the state. I mean, they've even had dogman sightings in St. Louis, you know, along the Mississippi. It's Missouri. How mysterious can you get? I mean, nobody wants to come here. Nobody wants to live here. But
it's called misery for a reason.
It's a haven for us weirdos. I'm just saying.
And that we are.
Yes, absolutely.
We're our own type of breed of people.
Yes,
we are.
Yes.
My best friends are weirdos.
Yes,
we are. It's a true freaking story. Yeah.
So what's next for you guys? I mean, I know the Haunted Soulz Paranormal and all of those locations. I know you got that, but what does your team have going? Do you have another big location, coming up, or
so I think this year we're going to try to end off the year one more time at Morse Mill. And then next year we're going to start doing some pushes next year. We're already in the works with Patriot Paranormal on a couple of places. They're absolutely phenomenal to work with, and they're great friends as well. They're somebody that we can mentor, learn a lot from. They've been doing us a lot longer than we have. So we like to go to places with them. And there's, I think, 2 or 3 places that we're talking about going to next year. And then, of course, I want to hit up Ray County. I would love to go down to the Myrtles Plantation.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, I would love to go back to Waverly Hills. Yeah. And take the equipment that we have and the knowledge that we've learned over the years. Because at Waverly Hills, I'll be honest with you, we looked like,
we didn't know what we were doing.
No, we were walking in circles and just,
we walked in there with a flashlight and dowsing rods, and that's about it.
Yeah. And we I don't know. We looked like real losers. I'll tell you that. We were those people saying, you know that you're dead. So, we didn't know. Everybody's got to learn, right? So,
what year did you die?
Yeah, exactly.
But we still had good we still had good responses. It was great.
Yeah,
still had good stuff.
So, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of places. Usually in December is when we sit down and try to figure out when things start opening back up. I think next year we are definitely going to Randolph County. I went there and I want to go back and do a private there.
Yeah, Randolph. I've been there once, and it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Right. So
the spiders in the basement.
Yeah, we those. And
did you guys witness the spiders down there?
No, when we went, there was one big one up in the corner, and I shot my
Holy crap! The whole basement was full of wolf spiders.
Ooh, I only
Big
saw
ones.
one.
So you don't want to lean on the walls.
Yep, I saw one, and I said, if there's anybody down there, you need to leave now. So I wasn't walking past it.
Yeah, I went down to the basement and looked around and saw all that. I'm like, F this. I went back upstairs.
I'm done. I'm not doing this no more.
No.
I think one place we're talking about going is Melbourne Manor.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah. We love Josh. He is a very good friend of Brandy and I. And oh my God. Yeah.
I will tell you this about Malvern Manor. It's the first time that I ever felt like I was manhandled by something I couldn't see.
Yeah.
It grabbed right a hold of my arm and pushed my arm, and I thought, "Ew, okay," because I've had my hair pulled, I've had my shirt tugged, I've had the feelings of the spider webs, in your head and all of that stuff, but I have never been physically touched like that
right
anywhere.
Yeah, Malvern is a great place. Just don't lean on the walls either, because
don't lean on the walls.
Original, and there's blood smears all over.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. Carry a black light. You see them all.
I think and then the other place we're talking about is I forget how you pronounce it, Edinburgh Manor.
Edinburgh.
Yeah. Definitely. That's we got a lot of places. We got to look at the budget. And I got a daughter, so I got dance recitals, dance practice, all these things. Yeah. So but the good thing, our team, if Ray and his wife and his buddies go out somewhere, and they represent, and we like to have fun with it, and we're open to people joining us and having a good time, and that's what makes it fun. The second it becomes a job, it's not fun anymore.
That's right.
And it's just we enjoy it. Our Facebook page, we honestly created it as something fun, just to be able to share some evidence that we catch when we do catch stuff, and we expect maybe family and friends to follow, and the next thing you know, we're above 800 people, which isn't a lot in retrospect, but is absolutely awesome. Because holy crap, 800 people like our stuff, they like what we do. So it's a huge thanks to everybody that does follow us.
We actually ran into somebody down in
Uranus
Fun Factory that knew who we were.
We were heading to the Aurora brothel, and we walked in there just as a restroom break to see what it was all about. And actually, we got a picture out there with our flag below the Uranus Fudge Factory sign. And the lady says, because the manager, we were talking to her, and she goes, "Oh yeah, just let one of them up there know." And she goes, "Oh well, what's your paranormal name?" And I told her, and she goes, "I follow you on Facebook." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome." It's a small world.
Well, Brandy and I, the Blondes and Booze, we have Sleeper Mortuary, and it's over in Kansas on April 4th. And I was going to open it up to the whole team. So, you guys would be welcome to come to that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this has been fun, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you guys are great. And we will, I guess we get to see you in November at Arcadia.
Yes, we will be at Arcadia. So, we'll be there. And then, are you guys going to Ashmore? You said no, right? Okay.
No. Been there, done that a whole bunch of times.
It's just me and my wife.
Even though I love it.
So
again, we're broke.
Right. So we're going as Spookie Dookie. So we're gonna do the actual tour ourselves. So we're looking forward to it. So
absolutely.
If you guys know any hot spots, let us know. Yeah.
We will give you some. I actually, if you go up to the third floor, you walk up the first set of steps by the main door, you walk up to the third floor, there's a first room to the right.
Okay.
And I was in there by myself, and I had plaster thrown at me.
What?
And Jeremy was there, and Tony Pickman was there, and another guy, Danny Brumley, but they were out in the bigger room out there.
Right.
And they heard it, like something get thrown at me, and you come in and see it, and you can see where it was. But something like me in their room. So
my wife had plaster thrown at her at MSP, but it turns out it was a raccoon in the ceiling throwing plaster down at us.
Oh my goodness!
We watched the little hand come through the hole and chuck plaster.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
Well, Ashmore
it's fun. It's good.
Ashmore finds you. What works for us or what might be active for us may not be for you. It may be somewhere
Right.
else. You
Right.
know, so yeah, it's just kind of like that. That's the type of place it is. It's
Right.
kind of like there is no hot spot. It's one big one.
It's just wherever
Yeah.
it is at night is where it's at. Yeah.
It's where it's at.
And that's the
Absolutely.
definition of ghost hunting, right? You go
That's
hunting,
it.
it's like fishing. You never know if you might get a bite, you might get a big catch. You never know.
Right.
Yeah, I lovingly call it watching paint dry at times.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Literally, because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's drying. Great.
Yeah.
Another couple hours. Yep, still drying.
Yep, that's it. Well, we appreciate everybody coming in, and thank you
Thank
guys,
you, guys.
Steve and Ray. We both appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next month. And everybody in chat. I don't think there's any shows tomorrow, is there? Because we're not tomorrow.
No, I don't think there's any shows for tomorrow, but don't forget on Saturday there is a beyond how does he say that? Bizarre. He keeps changing everything.
Bizarre something beyond
Into
BMR.
the Bazaar with
Into the
BMR.
That's it.
Into
it.
the Bazaar with BMR. That is at 10 p.m. Central on Saturday night. Don't forget to watch us on Truth or Tinfoil. That is at 5 p.m. on a Monday and or on Sunday. And then on Sunday. See, I don't know what day it is. And then on Monday. Okay, 8 p.m. Central, Texas Front Porch. Check it out. And again, on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central, it is Beyond BMR with his co-host, Krista. So stay tuned. Keep your notification bells on, your like bells, your thumbs up. And hey, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe now. We're so close to 4,000. We want to see it
Tonight.
yeah, sure. We'll call it tonight. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Everybody. Bye, everybody.